Hello everyone and welcome back to the next Transformer Studio Series video. In this video we're going to take a look at the Transformer Studio Series 59 Deluxe Class Shatter. Now this figure is actually quite a nice figure. If you did see my previous Shatter review of the Studio Series number 40, you know how I felt about that figure, and that one needed an upgrade and that one sucked. Well, now we finally got an upgrade by Hasbro. Although this figure has been was released in 2020 and 2019, the reason I am posting this video way so late is because I never had time, and I always had the other reviews more like to update on. But now I have time for this review. So now, without further ado, let's take a look at Shatter and everything. So this video is gonna be about, we're gonna take a look at Shatter, take a look at the box, the backdrop. We're gonna do some size comparisons, and finally transform vehicle size comparison. And I'll give you my final thoughts. So without further ado, now let's take a look at Shatter in a closer look. And so here we have Shatter in a closer look, and honestly this figure looks really cool. The sculpt work, the paint job on this figure is amazing. I have not really touched this figure all that much, that is why some of the paint still looks kind of new and everything, kind of, although some of it is a bit fading off, just a tiny bit. But still, this figure just looks super cool. Even up to this day, I still like this figure. Even though I got this figure in August of 2020, and like I said, I haven't had time to review her until now. So this is why I'm doing my review. So obviously, let's first go over the articulation and take a look at some of the cool stuff Shatter has. So she has a ball joint on the shoulder right here, which can bend in a bunch of degrees. Swivel on the bicep, hinge on the elbow, and no wrist articulation whatsoever, and no hands at all. She has a ball joint on the I believe her leg, so it could bend at a terrific degree. She could even do the splits, I believe. She has a hinge joint right here at the knee, hinge joint at the toe, but I think there's also one near the wing, but that's mostly due to transformation. The waist cannot rotate, unfortunately, but maybe that is because she transforms into a jet, so that is why. I do have some critiques about this figure, that being the hands. So I'm just gonna remove her accessories. But before we take a look at the hands right now, let me just show you her accessories, which are two blasters. In fact, I think they are sculpted really well, although I believe Hasbro could have done a tiny bit better job in adding more accessories, probably like some little gun or some missiles or something, to make this figure look more cool, to make this figure more than meets the eye. Well, let's take a look at some of the details. The paintwork is nice, and some of my critiques I have has to do with the hands. I mean, look, it wouldn't have hurt Hasbro to painted them, or at least put a new sculpting on the hands, like to give them some sort of articulation, but unfortunately Hasbro took the lazy job and did not do that. For here, she does have a bit of kibble, but I get that because it's part of the transformation mode, and this is one cool thing, that like this little dent right here connects to her head like that, so it could look like from certain angles it could look like this thing is just floating and not like connected or anything. So I think that looks really cool. As far as this figure is concerned, I'd say this figure has made it to one of my top 20 figures that I have, like near the top 10, so it's around there. I say this figure is really nice and all. The articulation and everything about this figure is really great. And speaking of other great figures, now let's bring in some other figures for a size comparison with Shatter. With some other Bumblebee figures to be exact. So here we have the Transformer Studio Series number 40 Shatter, and well, like I said, this is a complete this figure was terrible figure. And then this whole character was in dire need of an upgrade. Same thing applied to Dropkick. And finally we got this figure, and it looks so much better. This figure is so much better than this figure by every stretch of your imagination. This figure is the superior one, and this is the inferior one. Besides me rambling on who's the best, here are some size comparisons. Right here we can see Shatter and Dropkick and herself right here. We can see that they're all like nearly enough the same size, so that is pretty accurate to the Bumblebee film. And speaking of other Bumblebee movie characters, let's bring in Shatter and Dropkick's enemy, and the main character of the movie, Bumblebee. And we can see that Bumblebee is actually quite small compared to these figures, although they are all deluxe classes. We can see that he is quite small, and if we do remember in the film, he was always small. And speaking of another small character, let's bring in Cliffjumper, why not? And then we can see that Cliffjumper and Bumblebee are small compared to Dropkick and Shatter. So we can see that these two figures are bigger than Shatter. And I think that the scale between Dropkick and Shatter works really well, as they were always a duo in the Transformers Bumblebee movie. So now with the comparisons being done, now let's take a look at the box that Dropkick does have and her backdrop. Her box, actually, I really do like the CGI on her box. So let me just move the butt up. Right here we can see the box. The CGI looks incredibly amazing. I do like how the CGI looks like. Looks like she just came out of the Bumblebee movie and hopped inside the box. Right here, Studio Series 59 Deluxe class. Right here, she transformed in 27 steps from robot to jet form. Her iconic movie scene is when she's like the Sector 7 Decepticon when she's in there. And then it says, Shatter uses the powerful satellites of Sector 7 to hunt down Bumblebee. So if you remember in the film that her and Dropkick, they used satellites to look for Bumblebee, and they did find him in the Transformers movie. And right here we can see a dark version. Right here we can see Shatter in a better version, and I think that this whole area looks really cool. So now let's take a look at the backdrop first of all. So now the backdrop, actually, I think it looks really amazing. It looks exactly how Sector 7 did look like in the Transformers Bumblebee movie, and I think that all the detail on it, even when they found Bumblebee, even I barely even noticed this right now. Right there, it says B127 location as in Bumblebee. So I think that looks pretty cool. And if you do have both Shatter and Dropkick, you could have them both right here, and then you could just have them like walking around Sector 7 and everything, and I think that this looks really cool. So I will be leaving the Sector 7 backdrop here for the remainder of the video because I really think that looks so cool. So now without further ado, let's transform Shatter into that cool jet form. So now let's get to the transformation. The first thing you're going to have to do is simply remove the weapon accessories as usual for every Transformer figure. I say just set them off to the side for now, just set them off to the side, and we'll deal with those later. After that, you're just going to have to make sure Shatter's arms are lifted out like this, move her legs like so, like that, and then make sure these thrusters do in fact have to face outward like that. Make sure that the legs do connect with one another like so, like that. Just make sure that this little tab and this little slot do combine right here. Now forming that, and then after that you're just gonna bring in this region right here, and then after that you're gonna flip this whole area like so, like that. And now that that's done, push in her head right here, and then just unclip these shoulder pieces. Whoops! If that has happened, just simply reattach it like so. Unclip these shoulder pieces. Make sure that they are unfolded all the way like this, and then after that, just make sure that they both do combine like so. Make sure that they combine like that. After that, you're gonna have to make sure that they do slide in to the back part right here. So you're just gonna have to make sure they slide in right there. After that, we can almost see the jet mode almost being finished. Just gonna have to make sure this nose part of the jet is clipped. Make sure that these parts do fold like so, like that, and make sure this piece folds out like that. Clip these pieces together like so, like that, and then you're gonna flip in the wings like so. Make sure that these smaller wing pieces do in fact connect right here. And make sure, and if you haven't, and one other critique is that when you're attaching it near these final steps, these parts will eventually deattach. So technically, I recommend leaving them all deattached, and then at the end, attach them all together. So I recommend first attaching these parts right here, like so. Just make sure these parts are attached. You're gonna slide in the slots, the pegs into the slots. After that, you connect this once again. After that, you're just gonna have to make sure that this whole region right here slides in like so. After that, you're gonna have to make sure you push these two pieces together like so. And you have already seen that it did disconnect once again. So yeah, you're just gonna reconnect it like so, and then just simply keep trying it. Big. This is one of the things about this figure, that it just keeps disconnecting and disconnecting. So that is just one of my major critiques about this figure, is that around this step they keep disconnecting, and then you need to hold every single piece together so it can connect. And here we have Shatter fully transformed into that awesome looking jet form, and I think this is way better than the previous Studio Series Shatter that we did get, and I think that this looks absolutely amazing. You can have Shatter flying around all around, hunting down Bumblebee or Cliffjumper or whatever, any other Autobot that's on Earth or something. You could attach the weapon accessories right here in these circular ports, and then you could just simply just have them like so, like she's gonna shoot something now, pew pew pew, like that. And then right here you could fold in this part right here, this wheel right here, so that it could give you the illusion that she's flying around. And then to land, you just simply take out the wheel all the way, and then like so, and it looks like she's landed, and then she's waiting orders from Megatron or any other Decepticons and stuff. And speaking of other Decepticons and other Transformers, now let's bring in some other Transformers figures for a size comparison. And now comparing Shatter to another jet Decepticon, here we have our Studio Series Blitzwing compared to Shatter. And I think that the scale here between this type of jet and this type, actually, I think that it's kind of accurate, although I just picture jets all the same size, but I'll make an exception for this. I think that this looks accurate to how they appeared in the film, although they never appeared together at all. So I'm pretty sure that this should be accurate, and plus the Studio Series says it'll reflect the Transformers universe and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that this should be accurate as jets, and I think together they do look really cool. From the top side, they look better. Like you could have Blitzwing leading Shatter or Shatter leading Blitzwing, however you want. But anyways, these figures just look so amazing, both of these figures. So now let me give you my final thoughts of our Transformers Studios Series Deluxe Class, Transformers Studio Series 59 Deluxe Class Shatter. So let me give you my final thoughts of one of the best Transformers Studio Series figures that they've made in I believe 2020. So some final thoughts of the Transformers Studios Series number 59 Deluxe Class Shatter. This is absolutely a great figure. I really do like this figure. I enjoy this figure and everything. I recommend buying this figure, although you can't find her in stores anymore due to the fact it's already late 2021, and I don't believe that they're gonna be restocking the Targets and Walmarts with older Studio Series figures that much. So your best bet is Amazon, eBay, and I think Hasbro Pulse, I'm not so sure. But your best bet on finding this figure is online on either Hasbro or eBay or Amazon. So I recommend Amazon and Hasbro more than eBay, because you don't know if the person on eBay has some sort of coronavirus or whatever, but or something. I do recommend getting it on what's it called? Hasbro and what was the other one? Whatever, Hasbro and Amazon. So I recommend getting this figure there. This figure should be about $20. If you're spending more than $20 for this figure, then that's not the regular price. I do recommend this figure. This is a great figure. You will absolutely love this figure. Even her appearance in the Transformers movie was amazing. Although I really wish they would have added a little bit more paint applications to the figure, but that is just a minor critique I have. And overall, this is mostly a 9 out of 10 figure. I think that this figure has been done really well. So that about concludes my Transformers Studio Series, my Transformers Studio Series 59 Deluxe Class Shatter review. I really hope you enjoyed this review. Tell me if you did in the comment section down below, and tell me if you have this figure or you will be picking her up. And until then, I will see you in my next Transformers Studio Series or War for Cybertron video. Until then, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.